What are some of the things a base absolutely must have for you? Maybe you'd say a crafting area, storage, smelting. Or maybe a base to you needs to have more things than just the essentials, such as an enchanting area, a stable, crop fields, and even secret areas. Well, it just so happens that the base in this tutorial features everything I listed and more. Let's get into the tour. Alright, so before we head inside our base here, let's first take a look around the exterior fences. So this fence design here is just this section here, and it's pretty much just repeated around the entire base, which makes this really easy to build. It's just a bunch of spruce components, and then we have some azaleas above some coarse dirt. And this, like I said, is repeated across the entire length of the base. Even around the back side of the house here, we have the exact same thing. And now that takes us back around to the entrance here, and let's head inside and take a look at the exterior of the base. I don't really know what to call it. So as you can see, we have 4 separated crop fields, 2 on the left here, separated by a pathway, and then another 2 on the right. In between each of these, we have a composter and 2 barrels just for storing your seeds or your harvested crops. And yeah, you could of course put whatever the hell you wanted in here. You could replace this entire middle strip here with water and plant sugar canes on the sides, but you don't really need to do that as we have a little sugarcane farm over here right beside our horse stable. So if you love riding horses, you have a nice little perfect storage place for your best friend right here. He's even got some hay to munch on and a little bit of water as well. And yeah, to the left of this stable, we have our sugarcane growing area with also a little chest back here to store your sugar canes. Now you might wonder how these are actually growing and not like disintegrating, and it's because all of these here are slabs and we have water underneath all of them. Now let's focus our attention to the actual base itself. So as you can see, we have a 2-story design with the top floor being a little bit smaller than the bottom floor, and we also have a basement to the base as well. But yeah, just take a look around the exterior. I tried to keep this one pretty simple but also kind of detailed at the same time. As you can see, we have these nice corner accents and pretty much everywhere I could fit them in around. We've also got a couple of lanterns as well where I could chuck them in. If you want this base to be brighter for whatever reason, you could of course remove these trapdoors here and here and replace them with some lanterns, but I didn't really feel like it needed it. And you could also of course chuck lanterns on top of these azaleas as well if you wanted. Now the walls for all of this base are also actually textured as well. As you can see, we have stone and also a little bit of stone bricks texturing, and we've also got that over in the trim. This is completely optional. I felt like it was needed as the base looked a little bit flat without it. And so here I'll just take a look around the back side. As you can see, it's exactly the same as the front, except we just don't have a window here, and there's a specific reason for that we'll get into in a minute. And yeah, just the sides of the house are nice and simple. We don't have any windows as it's all just covered up by stuff on the interior. Same with this area here. And then on the right side here, we have this nice little roof that extends over and covers your horsey friend, and also our sugarcane farm. So now with all of the exterior looked at, let's head inside. So on the first floor here, as you can see, we have 6 double chests here. This is intended to be the main storage area where you'd keep all of the stuff that you're using pretty frequently. Then to the right here, we have a couple of barrels along the top for some extra little storage, and then our crafting blocks down below. Feel free to replace these crafting blocks with anything you feel is more useful to you. Maybe you want to replace this grindstone with a stone cutter, or maybe you want to chuck a stone cutter on top of here. It's entirely up to you. Then to the right of this, we have our ladder that goes downstairs and also upstairs. And then to the right of this, we have our smelting area. We've got a bunch of regular furnaces and then 2 smokers, 3 blast furnaces on the top. Now to the right of this, we have a little bit of a decorative area with a lectern, some bookshelves, and also at the front of the base, we have 2 armor stands with some lanterns above them as well, and a couple of nice little paintings above the doorway. Now this door here is the one that leads out to the right side of the base to our stable and sugarcane farm area, as you can see. And so first, let's actually head downwards into the basement. So down here, you'll find our enchanting area off to the left. This of course reaches a full level 30. We've also got some barrels on the left and right for your lapis storage or any other books you wanted to keep separated from your main storage up above or from the storage behind us here. So this here is the kind of offhand storage area. We've got a bunch of double chests and barrels. You probably want to put things down here that you don't really use too often, like cobblestone, dirt, just random stuff like that. And we've also got a crafting table here just for ease of use, so you don't have to go back and forth from the second floor if you wanted to grab some things out and craft them real quick. And so that pretty much covers the basement. Let's next head up to the second floor. So up here, as you can see, all we have is the bedroom. Also above us, we have a bunch of personal storage and some barrels along the tops on either side here. And now the keen-eyed of you might be wondering why I've had a ladder in my hotbar slot this whole time, and also where the secret area for this base is. So to access the secret area, all you have to do is place in a couple of ladders like this and remove this slab block and place on another ladder. And that brings us up to the attic. So up here, I've pretty much just crammed in as many double chests and normal chests as I can. And this obviously just serves as a secret area. If you're playing with friends or you just like to be a kind of secretive player, you can store all your diamonds and personal armor and stuff up here. Now I know it's not really the most elegant way to cover up a secret area in a base, as you have to remove ladders every time and replace this slab. I couldn't really figure out a nice and easy way to kind of have like a piston system or something up here, because it's not really that big of an area to add in redstone, but conveniently conveniently, there is barrels right here for you to store in the appropriate axe and also slab and ladders. It doesn't really look that obvious if you have maybe a bunch of other spruce items in here as well, along with your ladders and spruce slab. And so yeah, that pretty much covers the entire tour of the base and also the exterior. If you like the look of this base and want to create it for yourself, feel free to stick around and we'll get started on the tutorial right now. Alright, so as always, you're of course going to need a nice flat area, an especially large area for this base as it takes up quite a big space. And to start off, we're going to be creating all of the pillars for the fence that surrounds the entire area. So let's first add in the front left pillar here, and all of these are going to be 2 blocks high. So for the front here, we're going to be placing 6 of these pillars in total with a gap of 3 in between each one. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. There we go. So there's our 6 pillars with the entrance being right here. May as well just chuck in our fence gates while we're at it, just so we know where the entrance is. Now on the right side, we're going to be doing the exact same thing, just an additional 5 pillars to make 6 in total, including this one here. Now the back is going to be a little bit different from the rest, but to start off, we're of course going to be doing another gap of 3 right here. Then to the right of this, we're going to do a gap of 1, then another gap of 3, then a gap with 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to finish up, a gap of 3. And now for the final side here, we're just going to repeat what we did on the other side, just a gap of 3 across every single pillar. So that's all of the exterior pillars done, but while we're at it, we might as well do the pillars for the house as well. So we're going to be heading to the very back left corner here. So this is the front entrance for reference, back left corner over here. On the left side, we're going to head 2 pillars down, so 1, 2 on this pillar here, and we're going to head to the right, leave a gap of 3 in line with this pillar, then a gap of 5 in line with this pillar here, and then another gap of 3 in line with this pillar. And then in between these two, we're going to be placing another pillar like so. And so that's all of the pillars done. Now let's go ahead and add in our fence design. So like I said in the intro, the fence design is really easy as it's just a repeated pattern in each section. So I'm going to do 1 here and then I'll speed up the rest until we get to the back, which will be a little bit different. So starting off on the right side of the entrance here, let's first add some spruce stairs in front of these 2 pillars here. Then on top of all the pillars, let's chuck in some spruce slabs. I might as well just do this one as well while we're at it. Then in between these 2 pillars here, we're going to be adding in some stripped spruce wood. On top of this, we're going to chuck on a spruce fence in the center and then 2 spruce fence gates on the sides. On top of the fence, let's throw on a lantern. Then we're going to be replacing these 3 grass blocks with some coarse dirt, and on top of them, we're going to be chucking on some flowering azalea and also regular azaleas. Now, of course, you don't want to repeat this exact same pattern of flowered and not flowered in each section, so be sure to randomize this in each one. And so yeah, that's the exact design. We're going to be repeating this in pretty much every section, and I'm just going to speed this up until we reach the back section over there of the house. So as we reach the back section here, in this little area, we're going to be just doing the exact same thing, except it's only going to be 1 block wide as opposed to 3 blocks. And then in this gap here, we'll just be throwing on a fence gate. Now to the right of this 1 block gap section here, we're going to be going in by 1 block. So we're going to be placing our azaleas in between the pillars as opposed to in front of the pillars. So let's first place in our coarse dirt all the way across like so. Then in front of all of the pillars, let's throw in our usual spruce stairs. But we're not going to be throwing in spruce slabs on top, as these pillars are going to be going up a lot higher for the house. And now on top of all of the coarse dirt, let's throw on our usual azaleas. Now as we reach this side here, we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we just did, except only by 2 gaps wide. So let's first add in our spruce stairs in front of all the pillars, then replace these grass blocks with more coarse dirt, and then chuck on your azaleas like so. And then after this point here, we're going to be transitioning back to the exact same designs as on the other side. And there we go, that's our entire fence design done. Now it's on to all of the pathways that go throughout the entire base. Firstly, starting off with the pathway that leads outside the base. So this is of course going to be 3 blocks wide, and it's also going to be made out of a textured pattern of stone, gravel, and andesite. It's of course up to you if you want to leave it as a solid block. I would recommend stone if you're wanting to leave it as a solid block. And yeah, so I'm just going to lay it all out with stone, and then I'll speed up me texturing the pathway afterwards just to simplify the layout, I guess. So this pathway, you can of course just lead it out as far as you want, link it up to whatever else is in your area. I'm just going to cut it off here for the sake of the video. So now let's head inside and pretty much just extend this pathway all the way up until we reach this pillar here. So now with that done, we're going to make a ring around the entire area along here, which is going to be just right in front of these pillars all the way along here, and then running along the edges of all the fences. And now with that done, we're going to add in 2 rows to separate our farms. So the first one is of course going to be on this side in the center of this area. So on the left and right side, you should have a gap of 3 like so. And then of course, just repeat this exact same thing on the other side. Now while we're at it, we might as well add in our water for the farms and also our composters and barrels. So in the center of this side here, we're going to first chuck in a composter, and then to the left and right of that, a barrel. And then on top of the composter, this is optional, you can chuck on a spruce trapdoor, just like a nice little lid for the composter. And now let's just repeat this real quick on the other side. So a composter in the center, barrels, and also spruce trapdoor. Now on the blocks to the left and right of these barrels, we're going to be replacing these blocks with some slabs instead so that we can waterlog them. And this will serve as the water for this entire section of fields. And then we're going to of course do the exact same thing on the right side as well. And now that's all the farms done, except for of course hoeing all of the land and planting your crops. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. And there we go. So there's all of our crops added in. On this side, we've got carrots and wheat, and on the right side, we have potatoes and beetroots. Obviously not the most optimal setup, as beetroots are kind of crap, but it just kind of looks nice, I guess. So yeah, now with all of those done, let's go ahead and add in our little sugarcane section over here as well. So what we're going to be doing is removing this entire strip of grass here, 1 block directly in front of these pillars, and then also this block as well. And we're going to be filling them in with some stone and also andesite slabs. So just place this in with like a randomized kind of texture, and then we're going to go ahead and waterlog each of these as well. Now in between these 2 pillars, let's throw in a chest. To the right and left of that, some sugar canes, and then also some sugar canes all the way down along here, and then to the left and right of this block here as well. And so that's it for all of our farms. Now I'm gonna go ahead and texture the entire pathway, and I'm just gonna skip this part because it's kind of boring. And there we go, there's our textured path. This is how it should kind of look. Just of course randomize the andesite, gravel, and stone. All right, and so that's pretty much it for all of the exterior, except for of course the horse stable over here, which we'll get to towards the end of the video once we've actually created the house itself. So speaking of the house, let's actually go ahead and raise all of our pillars up to the correct heights. So firstly, starting off with the left side pillars here, which is these 3. We're going to be raising these up all to be 4 blocks high in total. That's the wrong block. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just raise all of these up to 4 blocks high. Now with that done, let's do the exact same thing on the other side over here. So these blocks that are in line with these sugarcane blocks here, and also the chest that we placed earlier. So we're going to be raising these all up to 4 blocks high. Now actually messed up here, you're not supposed to put the spruce slab there. This is actually supposed to be raised up like the rest of the pillars here to 4 blocks high in total. Now for these 4 central pillars, we're going to be raising these up to 5 blocks high for now. And we're also going to be connecting these up together at the very top point here. Starting off at the back here, let's bring this all the way over, and then we're going to raise this pillar up as well. So these should both be 5 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then connect it up like so. And then we're just going to repeat this exact same thing with the front pillars. Now with that done, while we're still up here, we're going to be raising this up an additional 5 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to join it once again up to the other side pillar. And with that done, let's jump down and do the exact same thing on the back here. And there we go, that's it for the pillars. Now let's start adding in our walls. So for the walls, we're gonna need stone and also stone bricks, as we will be texturing these walls as we go. But like I said previously, feel free to not texture this if you want to, and just leave it as purely stone or purely stone bricks. And so starting off on the very front left corner of the house, we'll be insetting all of these walls in by 1 block. So they're gonna be 1 block behind the pillars instead of in line with the pillars like this. So first we're gonna create the front left window here. So let's just go ahead and create a nice donut shape around like this. this, raising this up to the same height as this pillar here. And then at the top here, instead of placing a normal block, we're going to be placing some upside down stairs. And then let's fill this gap in here with some glass panes. Now let's quickly repeat this on the other side over here as well. Now let's head to the left and create the front doorway wall thing. So this one's pretty easy. All we're going to do is create these two sides like this. Also texture it. I kind of just forgot to do that. And we're going to raise this all the way up to the same height as the pillar here. Jump back down, and then up here we're going to add in another block and then directly below it some upside down stairs. And then down here we're actually going to be branching this pathway off underneath here. And then let's also chuck in our spruce door as well. Now let's head around to the left side outside of the actual base. So we can just use this fence gate to quickly get out. And all the way along here, including the back as well, and this side, there's going to be no windows, so it's all just going to be stone and stone brick textured, all up to the same height here, so 4 blocks high. So let's just go ahead and quickly add all of these walls in. When you get over to here, leave a 2-block gap right here where this pathway branches off like we added before, as we're going to be adding our doorway in here. We can actually just add our door in right now, so just chuck it in. And also replace this block here with some more upside down stairs. And now let's just continue adding in our walls. And there we go, there's our entire walls added in for the first floor. Now let's head outside and add some details to these walls, starting with the front entrance. So at the top right and top left, chuck in some upside down spruce stairs, and in front and below these, some spruce trapdoors. Now in between these two top spruce trapdoors, throw in a lantern, and then down here in these grass spaces, let's add in some azaleas. Now heading to the right side, let's also add in some more azaleas, and we might as well just do the same thing on the left side as well. And while we're here, let's also add in some more upside down spruce stairs, similar to what we did over here, except they're just a bit closer this time. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right side. Now let's head out to the left outside through this fence gate once again. So for these walls here, we're going to be placing some spruce slabs on the top half of the topmost block here. And then we're also going to be extending this out 1 block as well. This might look weird right now, but this is just to help with aligning the roof up later. And with that done, we're going to head around to the back now and pretty much just repeat what we did on the front here. So we're going to be adding in some upside down spruce stairs below, and in between them, some spruce trapdoors. Over to the left here, we're going to do, once again, the exact same thing. Spruce stairs, spruce trapdoors, and then repeating the same thing again on this left side. And also don't forget to add your lantern in as well. Now jumping through this fence gate here, let's head around to the right side. And once again, we're going to be doing the exact same thing we did on the other side. So add your spruce slabs in like so, and then we're going to bring them out 1 as well, except this time we're going to be bringing these slabs down by 1. All the way across like this, leaving the innermost slabs as they are. And so that's it for all of the first floor wall decorations. Now let's grab out some scaffolding and head up to the second floor. So once again, grab out your stone and stone bricks, and we're going to be raising these walls up all the way in line with these top pillars here. So I'm just going to make these all stone for now, and I'll texture it at the end, just because it's a bit easier to do it that way. Now once we've added all of these in, we're going to be branching this off to the right to meet up with this side. So let's add in our wall here, and then we're going to be connecting them up like so. And once again, doing the same thing for the other side. And there we go, there's our walls added in. Now let's just quickly go around and texture them with some stone bricks. Okay, now that we're back at the front here, let's remove these 2 blocks and replace them with some glass panes. And then up the top here, replace this block with some upside down stairs. And now let's add in our front details here for the front wall. So firstly, in front of the window here, let's chuck on a moss block, and in front of it, an oak trapdoor. Then to the left and right of it, some spruce stairs. And then to the left and right of these spruce stairs, some spruce trapdoors. Now on top of the moss block here, let's chuck on a flower pot, and I'm going to throw in a red tulip. Then at the top here, let's chuck in some upside down spruce stairs in the corners, and then our regular spruce trapdoors above and below them. And then, of course, chuck your lantern on right in the center. Now let's head around to the back side. And back here, we're going to be doing pretty much the exact same thing. So moss block, oak trapdoor, on top of that, a flower pot with your flower of choice. I'm alternating between a white tulip and a red tulip on the front and back. Beside this moss block, some spruce stairs, and then beside them, spruce trapdoors. And then above that here, some spruce stairs. Above and below that, some spruce trapdoors. And also your lantern. chuck that in too. Now let's raise up our scaffolding all the way up so that we can get to the very top of our base here. And up here, what we're going to be doing right now is adding some stripped spruce logs like this, so that we have 3 going sideways, and then just remove this one here. And let's do the exact same thing at the front as well. So 1 block here, and then place 3 like this so that they're all sideways. And now let's drop down to the right side and create the roof. And now to make things a little bit easier, we're actually going to drop all the way down and create the trim first. So these trims will be made up of stone and also stone bricks, except they won't be textured. They will have a kind of pattern to them, but feel free to texture them if you want to. But to get this right, what we're going to do is look at this intersection here of the pillars, and on the top half of it, we're going to place a stone slab, and then we're going to place another stone slab 1 block above that. Now to the right of this, we're going to place in 2 stone brick slabs that are going down 1/2 of a block, and then to the right of this, some more stone slabs in line with it. Then we're going to be going down again with some more stone brick slabs like this, and then to the right of that, some more stone slabs, and then down once again in line with these 2 blocks here with some stone brick slabs. Now what we can do is head around to the back and repeat this exact same thing. So in line with this here, we're going to place our 2 stone brick slabs, and then we're actually going to grab out some scaffolding, and then 1 block above this here, some stone slabs. To the right of that, some more stone brick slabs. To the right again, we're going up again and using stone slabs, so let's add these in. Then to the right of this, some more stone slabs, and then up again with some stone slabs. These were stone bricks, not stone slabs. Okay, there we go. So there's all of the trim added in. Now let's head all the way up and add in our entire roof here with just some regular spruce slabs. So branch these all the way across like this, and then for these ones here, we're just going to do the same thing, just branch them off, and then we'll fix up this weird gap that'll be on the inside when we get to the inside. And then for this part here, just in line with this top slab, create a line of spruce slabs like so. And now it's time to repeat this exact same thing on the other side. So once again, at this cross point here at the top half, we're going to add in some stone slabs like so. To the left of this and down 1, some stone bricks. And then to the left of this, some more stone slabs. Down below this, stone, yeah, you get the point. And your trim should look exactly like this. And now let's do the same thing on the back. Nice and easy. Now let's grab out some scaffolding and head up once again. And we're just going to fill in the entire roof once again with some spruce slabs. And that's it for the side roofs. Now, let's go all the way up to the top and add in our topmost roof. And so I'm actually going to fly for this part just to make things a little bit easier to see. So on the left side, let's grab out some stone slabs, and on this meeting point here of the pillars, we're going to be placing in 2 stone slabs like so. To the left of this, we're going to go down 1 with some stone brick slabs. Then to the right of the stone slabs here, we're going to place some more stone brick slabs, just 1 though on the bottom half, and then above this, some stone brick stairs. Then in front of these stone brick stairs, some regular stone stairs, and above these, some more stone stairs. Then to the right of this, some stone brick stairs, and above that, a stone brick slab. Now we're going to mirror this exact same thing on the other side, so some stone stairs, like so. In front of this here, some stone brick stairs with some stone brick slabs below. To the right of this, stone slabs, and then to the right once again, stone brick slabs. And now I don't really feel like saying stone and bricks and slabs anymore, so I'm going to repeat this on the back, and I'm just going to speed it up for you guys. And there we go, there's all the trims added in. Now we're going to do pretty much what we did below here and connect them up using some slabs and stairs. And we'll actually be replacing these spruce wood blocks here with some slabs instead. And of course, the parts where the stairs are, we'll be extending the stairs across, not slabs. And then down here on the sides, we're going to be extending this row all the way in like this, just to make it nice and flush. And then let's quickly repeat this on the other side as well. And there we go, we're completely done with all of the exterior for the house. Now, before we move on to the interior of the house, we're actually going to be adding in our horse stable. And so to do this, what we're going to do is stand up here, and in the center of the roof here, we're going to place in a strip of slabs like so, extending these all the way to the right above the fence here. Then in front and behind these slabs, we're going to place in some campfires. And these are both going to be 2 blocks wide like so. And then let's do the same thing on the back here. Then with all of those placed, we of course have to extinguish them. So let's grab out some scaffolding and head up and extinguish them with a shovel. Then let's jump back down, and in front of these and behind them as well over there, let's add in some spruce trapdoors. And then heading back to the front here, we're going to be adding in some spruce fences right here on this block, directly to the right of the sugar canes, all the way down to the bottom. Then we're going to extend these fences all the way down to the back, and then at the front here, we're going to be placing some spruce fence gates. Then we can go ahead and texture the ground with some coarse dirt. This is of course optional. I just feel like it makes it look kind of more animal-y, like they've been kind of trampling on the grass or whatever, and it's turned to dirt. Now at the back here, let's remove this block and place in some water, and then to the right of it, let's chuck in just a couple of random hay bales, and in front of it, a campfire, and extinguish it of course. Then you can bring your horsey friend in here, tie them up to wherever you want. I like here, just so they're nice front and center, and there we go. That's our horse stable done, and now the entire exterior of the base is complete, and all that's left to do is all of the interior for the base. So heading on inside, the first thing we're going to do is add in our floor, and to do that, we're going to grab out some spruce planks and create just a ring around the entire base like so. Then on the back here, we're going to extend this ring out by one block like this. And that leaves us with a rectangular shape of grass in the center of the base. And we're actually going to pull this in an additional block on the side here. So this should be 2 blocks wide and also at the back as well. Then in this central area here, let's remove all of this grass, and we're going to be placing in a checkered pattern with stone and stone bricks. So grab out your stone first and just create a simple checkered pattern like so, and then fill in all of the gaps with some stone bricks. Now in the back left corner here, let's add in a pillar out of some spruce logs all the way up until the ceiling. And then while we're up here at the ceiling, let's connect this up to the ceiling with a spruce slab. And then we're going to fill in all of these gaps using some more spruce slabs. Let's go all the way around and just fill in all the gaps nice and easy. Then we're actually going to be removing this bottom layer of blocks here and extending our roof all the way across at this height here. So we should be 4.5 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's the half there. So we're going to be extending this layer of slabs all the way across the entire ceiling here. Now let's head down to the center of the base here in line with our doorway, and all the way at the back here, let's chuck in some ladders all the way up, remove this slab and then extend it up as well. And then let's also remove a few blocks down and add in some ladders as well, making sure to replace these back blocks here with some stone blocks. Now, while we're still in line with the center of the base here, let's go ahead and stand on this stone brick here and look straight up to the ceiling. Don't remove that block, that was an accident. And then we're gonna head 3 blocks to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and on this block here, throw on a slab and then also a lantern. Then we're gonna head back to the center and do the exact same thing, but to the right. So 1, 2, 3, slab and lantern. Now let's head over to the leftmost wall and add in our little storage section. So firstly, let's add in 2 double chests like so, and then we're gonna add another 2 above these. Then 1 block above this, let's add in 2 spruce slabs, and then beside each of these, some spruce trapdoors on the edges, and then above this, some more double chests. That's our storage area done. Now let's turn to the right and add in our crafting section. So along the top here, in line with these 2 double chests, we're gonna add in 4 barrels all the way until we reach the ladder here. And below this, we're gonna add the exact same shelf design that we did over there for the chests, just like that. And then down here, we're gonna add on firstly on the left an anvil, then a crafting table, then a smithing table, and finally a grindstone. Then on top of the anvil, let's chuck on a lantern. To the right of that, a large amethyst bud, and then to the right of that, once again, a flower pot with a blue orchid. And that's it for our storage / crafting section. Now let's add in our furnace area. So firstly, along the bottom, let's place in some regular furnaces, 5 in total, and then above this here, in line with these barrels, we're gonna place in firstly 3 blast furnaces, and then to the right of that, 2 smokers. Below this, we're gonna add a similar shelf design, except because we have 5 on this side, we're gonna place 1 slab in the center, and then 2 spruce trapdoors on the right, and then another 2 on the left. Then above the furnaces here, on the very left one, let's chuck on a flower pot with an azalea. Directly to the right of that, a couple of candles, and ignite them with a flint and steel. And then leaving a gap, and then placing on this block here, a campfire, and then extinguish it. And that's our smelting area done. Now to the right of this, in the very center block here, we're gonna remove these 4 blocks. At the very top, let's chuck in 2 bookshelves, and below that, a spruce trapdoor. And then right at the very bottom, a lectern with a book and quill. Now let's add in some armor stands in these 2 gaps here beside the door. So firstly, on the left, we're gonna add on a stripped spruce wood block here, and in front of it, a spruce trapdoor, and then to the left and right of this, a couple of spruce signs. Then let's just quickly repeat this on the other side as well. So once again, stripped spruce wood block in front of it, spruce trapdoor, and the left and right, some spruce signs. Then at the very top here, let's add in a lantern, and then also an armor stand, and do the same on the other side, of course. And then just go ahead and throw in any of your armor of choice. I'm gonna go with some gold on the left side, and then some iron armor on the right side. Then above the doorway here, in these 3 blocks, we're going to add in a couple of paintings. Firstly, a 2-wide painting, and to get a 2-wide painting, we need to first place a block here, and then another block here. And that just stops it from becoming a bigger painting, and now we can just right click and place a 2-wide painting. Now to the right of this, we want a 1-wide painting, and to do that, we just need to place 2 stone blocks like so, and then our painting on just like that. And that's it for the entire first floor. Now, let's head up to the second floor. So first of all, we're going to be adding in our barrels along the top here, and to line that up, all we have to do is just look at the very top where our stone meets the wood here, and we're going to be placing these on the very top layer of stone. So let's add in a couple of barrels just like so. It might be kind of tricky to place these outwards. You might have to jump like I am to be able to place them, and we're going to be placing these on both sides. Then in between them at the top half, we're going to chuck on some spruce slabs, and then below them on each side, some upside down spruce stairs, and then in front of those, some spruce trapdoors. Then in the gaps here, let's add in some lanterns, and then directly below these, we're going to add in some more paintings. These ones are going to be 2 blocks high. To do that, we're just going to place some blocks like this, and then we can chuck on our painting, and let's just do the same thing on the other side real quick. Now it's time to add in our actual bed. So firstly, let's place in the bed directly in front of the window here. And then to the left and right of it, let's place some stripped spruce wood blocks. On top of the left side, a flower pot with a cornflower. And on top of the right side, a large amethyst bud. And then in front of these here, we're gonna create a ring of red carpets just like so. And now that's it for the second floor. Now let's actually go ahead and add in our secret area. So we're gonna be removing this spruce slab here, and let's extend our ladder up all the way to the top and climb all the way up. Then up here, we're just gonna be placing in chests pretty much in every single gap that we can, making sure to place as many double chests as we can, and then single chests in all of the places that we can't have double chests. Just like that. So you should be able to get 6 double chests and then 4 single chests. And then all we have to do to cover this area back up is remove these ladders all the way down to here, and then place our slab back. And then like I recommended in the tour, you can place all of these items back in here along with an axe, and just kind of disguise it with some other random spruce blocks just to not make it look obvious. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the entire second floor in the attic. Now let's head back down to the first floor and add in our basement. So for this side, of course, recommend a decent pickaxe and also a decent shovel, as we're going to be excavating quite a large area. So from this point here, we're going to be going down by 5 blocks. As you can see, we've already done 3. So we're just going to be going down 2 more blocks. So 1, 2, I can't reach it, but yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. And then let's just make sure all of these back blocks are stone and chuck our ladders on. Now standing on this block right here, we're going to be going forwards. So that's towards the front door of the base by 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's extend this up all the way to the ceiling here. Let's also drink a night vision so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And then we're going to be pushing the left and right side walls by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to do this to the entire wall here, and then same to this side. And there we go. Now with your entire area excavated, we're going to go ahead and make sure that each exposed block is a stone block. No dirt, no coal, no nothing else, just stone. Next, what we're going to do is replace the entire floor with some spruce planks. Feel free to do some spruce slabs instead, just to save on resources. I'm just going with planks because I'm lazy. Now with all of that done, let's go ahead and add in our enchanting area on the left side here. And to start this off, on the very back in the center here, let's create a 3-wide square of bookshelves, just like so. Then to the right, we're going to create a rectangle that is 2 wide, and then we're going to do the same on the left side, except we're going to place in a bookshelf in the corner here so that we reach a full level 30. Then right in the center here, we can chuck in our enchanting table. In front of these bookshelves, let's add some barrels like so. And then we can also add in a lantern directly above the enchanting table here. Now we're going to go ahead and add in a ring of spruce stairs that kind of goes all the way around along the roof here, starting in front of these barrels like so. Then we're going to curve it around these bookshelves all the way around this way, back up to this side. And so that's it for our enchanting area, all done. Now we're going to turn around and add in our extra storage area. So firstly, right in the center at the back here, let's place in a strip of barrels just like this. Then to the left and right of this, we're going to be placing 6 double chests in total. And then to the right here, we're going to add in some more double chests and do the same thing on the left side as well. Then in front of all these, we're going to add in another strip of barrels just like we did in the center. Do the same thing on this side as well, of course. Then we're going to go ahead and add our same kind of staircase thing that we added over there. To do that, we're just going to be placing our upside down stairs like so in front of the barrels. Then we're going to curve it all the way around and meet back up with this side here. Then to cover in this ugly little gap here, we're going to be placing some spruce slabs above all of the chests here so that there isn't a weird looking gap. Then directly in front of this stair block here, let's place in a lantern. Directly below the lantern here, let's add in a crafting table, chuck on a couple of candles, and then ignite them with a flint and steel. Now for the final thing of the basement and the entire base itself, we're going to be adding in a little pot plant here. So let's remove these 3 blocks. At the top and bottom, we're going to place some upside down stone stairs. Let's replace this block here with a stripped spruce wood block. And then in front of it here, a flower pot with a blue orchid. And then also we're going to be replacing this stone block with some spruce planks just to kind of make the floor like kind of continue underneath there, I guess. And yeah, there we go. We're completely done with the basement and the entire base. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment any future ideas that you'd like me to build for any future tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.